All right, we are over here across the street in my lay down yard over here. Sawmill guy just came and got the drive chain or the travel chain off of that thing. He's on another big job. He's got 2 mills up there and the chain went bad on one of them and he really needed it. He's working weekends, so he didn't have time to get another one. So he took that one. So I've got a couple of choices here. I want to have him cut enough stuff for at least one of the projects on the storage garage. So I'm gonna cut the logs short and take them to him. So I'm gonna cut enough stuff for the stair treads and the handrail stuff so I can work on that and get that going. And that'll give me time to get the brackets made, get them powder coated. And if it goes well, I'll cut out the other stuff that I need for them. I can run that stuff up there tomorrow, I think, or the next day. So I'll cut it out today. It's Sunday while I have the time. I need logs of decent size because the stair tread is 3.5 by 13 or 3.25 by 13, something like that. And so I'm going to cut that out of, I'd like it all free of heart. So I think the pieces I need, I can get out of these couple of bigger ones. And then of course the cutout from it can be smaller stuff too, as long as I cut everything 10 footers, because I want the treads to be like 4.5 feet, something like that. So I should be good with that count. I'm not sure I want to get into that one, but I may take a look at it. But for sure that one, and then this one I'll probably cut down, and then maybe these ones I'll at least set them aside. All right, let's get into it. All right, I'm gonna go hunting through that pile. I gotta make it safe. number one. And if I see something else that's real nice, I'll pull it out. Let's have a couple wraps over that. I just put the beam on there, the two beams, just to get them across the road. I got to weld them up for a project, and it's hard to get long stuff. That one's 21 or 22. It's hard to get longer stuff through the driveway entrance here, so it's easier to put it on the truck and get it there. All right, this would make a good video title. Is it a shit load or is it a shit load? We'll just chain it down and call it good. Get one wrap over it so I don't lose anything in the driveway. Was close. I was like, oh, I forgot something. All right, we're back here for a bit. I'm going to unload some wood we had to cut. I've got stair treads on here and extra wood from the logs we cut the treads out of. We just cut into 1-inch boards because those will be going on the inside. I've got the wood for the awning down that side on there, and then I've got the two glue limb stair stringers. I don't have the brackets back yet, but I'll start prepping those, getting those ready, as well as cutting the treads today. I think I've got a shear wall inspection. All the changes are made. So backing those up with engineering, and let's see, we got electrical ready for inspection today. A couple of lights in here, it's looking good. I think I have that other bracket now. It's on its way today, and we'll just kind of film a few things. Not a lot of content today, but we'll get what we can. Oh yeah, one more thing. It's dogwood season right now, and this is a nice one, but they grow in the wild out here really well. They're hard to move. They're slow growing, but man, they really stick out of the woods. They're super beautiful. I was just talking about this dogwood here, and they are a wild occurring thing, even though this one's here in the yard domestic. But if you look over there, that's a butte. And so that one's just coming out. It's kind of a little bit different color green. It's kind of light. That stands out for miles. You can see them from miles away, just kind of standing lone out there in the woods. I'm usually in the habit of going around every year in the woods taking pictures of different ones. That's a good one there. Maybe I'll include some pictures from the ones near home. All right, we'll get this stuff put away and sorted out. I'm gonna sort out the stair treads, and then I'll sort this out separately and sticker it so it can dry. I'll get it tarped. I think I got a tarp here, and we'll go to work. All right, we're gonna cut the stair treads here, get them all routed and stacked aside on the pallet over here. And we'll probably put some finish on them before we install them, but I'll get them all cut out today just to get this pile out of the way. I know, some of them are tough. Yeah, I didn't look at these good enough when I got them from the lumber yard yesterday. There's only one of them that's not broken or split with a pitch seam. I'm probably gonna take these back, get some different ones. Well, so much for that. I'll just put them back on the truck. Okay, got some, got some stuff. We've decided to go with some river rock on the front of this thing, like a little wainscoting, sort of match the cabin. So I brought some stuff down for that. We've been a little stalled out here with making some siding decisions and material choices. We had some addendums we had to file with the county for a couple changes we did. That took a little while to work through, but we're through that now, I believe. So today I'm down here. I'm gonna work on a couple things. Some of it is some siding course layouts, and then the other thing is I have this eyebrow along here, which is essentially that 4-foot overhang, the same style, a little bit smaller rafter beams, but the same purlin and vertical decking through here, but it's going to be a little bit lower, so the top of it's going to start about 20 inches down. So I've already moved the studs around inside. The shear wall is all inspected and passed, but I've got to cut holes. So I got to lay out a level line, and then I can measure up to each one as I do it. And it's basically a rafter that goes in between a pair of double studs. So it screws through each side with assembly screws, big timber locks. And then there's a knee brace coming out at 45 degrees to intersect that rafter. Part of the ultimate height of it all is making sure that the knee brace comes back and intersects the wall above head height, within, limits of code or whatever, just so that it doesn't feel like it's encroaching on you or you're going to hit your head on it. So, and then that kind of determines the top height. So we're going to work on that. And then I also have all the stuff back now for, picked up those brackets, those stair brackets that I made on the iron worker. Those turned out real good. It's like about a 40% gloss. And I've got the screws for those now, so I may start working on these stairs. We'll see how far we get today. Now we can measure up from each one of those individually instead of trying to snap a line across the top of them all. So I'll work out the height next, and then we'll start cutting out pockets one at a time. Okay, a little more pinch for space than I'd like here, but I think I got it worked out. I've got the wall here. There may be a sidewalk here. It'll be a little lower, but from the framing, the inside floor, I'm going to come up 6 feet, depart from the wall with a 45-degree knee brace, and then that's going to intersect this 8 and 12 beam rafter here. This knee brace is, we will be 30 inches out on a 48-inch total, so it'll be 48 that way. It'll be 30, so we'll have 18 past that, and then we'll just continue up. Where that would hit would be 30 more inches right there, and then that leaves 30 inches of 812, which is 2.5 feet, so it's 16, 20 more inches. So we'll be up 6 feet to that, and then to the bottom of that we will be when I say 30, 20, 50 inches total to that. This is about 9 inches because it's a 6x8, and then there'll be a purlin like that. It screws to the wall, and there'll be a purlin out here as well. So it probably should work out make sure that that there is high enough. So if that goes up 30 from 6 feet, it's 8'6". And then we're coming back down 18 inches or 1.5 feet at 812, so 12 inches, so 7'6" to the lowest point. So there's no way that's not encroaching on any headroom there. This maybe after the sidewalk goes in, it might feel like it, but honestly, even walking straight down the wall with shoulder width out there, you'll have 6'6", 6'8". It's not going to be an issue. So I think we're good. That's how I'm going to lay it out. And then that puts it, I got to work that out real quick. Hang on a second. Okay, that puts us at 140 from the bottom and about 14 inches from up there. So ultimately it'll be 14 inches lower. I can't see it in the light here, that tail right there. I was aiming or guesstimating about 20 inches, but just to keep everything working good, I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. It'll still be fine. Okay, so I got it cut out. I have a crane, but I stuck that thing in there by hand because it wasn't that big of a deal. It was hanging there. I pinned it inside so it'll pivot roughly into place, flush on the inside of the double stud. I'm gonna stick a post under it and use the angle finder on my my phone to get it right, and then I'll go screw it in. That worked. We'll finish screwing off the inside and make shorter work of the other ones. First one always takes the longest. Let's see how that's going to look from over here before I shut the camera off. Yeah, I like that. Plenty generous in head height and everything. All right, I can't generate enough push from the outside off that ladder to get that thing to go to the back end of that pocket. So I'm going to suck it up with a screw. Okay, that one was about the reverse of the top one. I had to put a board on it and screw the board to the wall to shove it out a little bit. But now I can go to the top and tune that in. I'm gonna hit a pause on installing these other two. The outside ones are up. The reason I did the outside ones is so I could run a string between the tails. So when I set these, even if they're slightly off, everything will be in a line. Nobody will know. But I think if I stick those in right now, the first thing I'm doing is setting those windows up there from scaffolding. And just the way it lays out, I'm gonna use hardy trim around those holes, basically to create a horizontal dead stop in the siding. So once the windows are set and the surrounds are on it, there won't be anything to do above the windowsill. In fact, there'll be trim that's, you know, the siding will tuck up under the trim. That'll be about, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 9 inches below the window. So I won't ever have to go that high again once I do all of that. So it'd just be simpler to leave it out. And I don't have enough scaffolding to set up and do both of them at the same time with the trim out to the edge, because it's about, oh, that's what, I gotta frame those in yet. So that's 8.5 feet or something. So if I set up one tower and do one window at a time, I may have to get a little weird with how I do the bottom trim, but we'll get it done. Anyway, that's the plan. I just moved everything else out here for a second, and then I think since the sun's full on this side, after lunch, I'm gonna work on some stairs. So we'll get some footage of that.